on deck. Oh yeah, ready to go? And how to know yourself. Each one of you guys, that you made it to this elite platform where you really can take your startup, your business to the next level. I'm looking forward to learning all about your businesses and how I can help. But here's the deal. You guys have had a lot of information, or actually the last couple months, last couple years. You've studied a lot. I'm not big on giving more and more information because it's not about that. It's about the execution of the information. So I've simplified in a world right now with a lot of fluff, a lot of BS, a lot of exaggeration, a lot of theories. I think it's very important to get real and deal in reality, because the only way you're really going to change your reality is actually deal in reality. And I've been in the same situation where I've been dead broke, frustrated, discouraged, feeling like I let people down. I told my whole family, you know, I'm not going to take the average route to get a normal job. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. What do you think all of my family said when I said that? Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Like, you need to make sure that you get a steady job. Get a steady job, don't be an entrepreneur. A lot of times it's from other people's insecurities of not following their dreams. Some of the biggest advice I got back in the day was to never let someone else who already gave up on their dreams talk you out of your dreams. No one that's living their dreams will tell you not to live yours. It's only the people that have already given up on them. 1 or 2 perspective shifts. So just a new action plan, a new way of thinking, a new way to market or to get your product out there can yield you an extra $10,000 to $150,000 plus in income this year. Just a different way of thinking can help your income skyrocket. But not just income, your impact and your influence, because your income is a reflection of the impact you're making as well. Right now is the greatest time in human history to be an entrepreneur. With all the technology, all the information, all the stuff out there that are resources for you, but still 90% of startups fail. How in the world is it the greatest time in the history of entrepreneurship to really live a life and build a life on your terms, but most fail? I really want to dive in. I've spent 12 plus years researching this, interviewing experts, figuring this out, failing myself, to understand how in the world is it the most resourceful economy. There's a lot of leverage out there to help you. And I know 15-year-olds making $500,000 a year and broke 40 and 50-year-olds. Age has become irrelevant in the new economy. It's not about age, right? So this is exciting, and you're leaving thousands, if not millions, on the table not knowing some of these things I want to share. How many of you guys want to make more impact and more income the next 6 months to a year than you have the previous 3 or 4 years? Raise your hand. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right group. And by the way, guys, if you just sit back and kind of listen to me, you'll remember and retain about 10% of this information. If you actually write notes and get a little bit engaged, you'll remember about 45%. But if you actually get your body engaged, you get energized, you actually listen with full focus, and you shout back answers, you get engaged with me, and you really raise your hand, you're going to remember 85%. So I want to make sure you guys know that if you get engaged, you're going to remember and retain a lot more of this information, okay? So I want to help you guys not only make income, but make impact. Now, the biggest money transfer of all time is happening right now. There's being a lot of money transferred to successful people, and when the economy goes down, when the economy is in a frustrating spot where people are struggling. I know a lot of people struggling that I'm trying to help personally. How many of you guys in here know someone right now that's close to you or that you know in your immediate family that's not doing well, that's kind of struggling financially? Okay, it's tough. You guys have to be the rock for the people around you. I think you already understand that you're obviously the person and the entrepreneur that has to be the one that is the rock for everyone, not just financially, but mentally as well. So when the economy goes down, the money does not disappear. A lot of people think if they've never had money, when the economy's down, oh my gosh, it's a scarcity of money, the money's gone. No, it's not gone. It just transfers to the successful people that have these traits and these things I want to talk about, the things Gerard talks about. That's why you have to understand, there's no shortage of money. There's just a shortage of people willing to change and willing to understand how to become more valuable. Really conceptualizing this is the first step. Mindset comes first, results come second. So this is the biggest myths of entrepreneurship right now. It's not about personal development. I know people that study every single day, all day long. They've read every book you can think of. They listen to every podcast, and they're so overwhelmed, they take no action, and they have no money. So it's not about personal development. It's more about knowing yourself. I'll tell you, this last year, I have read the least amount of books. I've studied very strategically. I've only had one mentor. I've only listened to one podcast. I've been part of one mastermind community, and it's had the biggest breakthrough in my results ever. So the least amount of study, but the most amount of awareness, the most amount of results, income, and influence I've ever had. So it's not about information, it's about execution of the right information, right? So if you really know yourself, anyone you think of right now that you look up to, that you really respect, I bet you they know themselves at the highest level. And what's cool about knowing yourself, me and G talk about this, opinions become irrelevant for most people, and you drop the need to be liked by people. When you know yourself, you don't care about others' opinions as much, all right? Next, your network is more important than your experience. It's a scary thing. I know people that have 20, 30, 40 years of experience, but you can't really say 30 years of experience because they do the same thing every year. So it's actually 1 year of experience repeated, what, 30 times. And then I know people that are 18, 19, we have a 21-year-old kid that just hit 20 grand a month in income in our academy. He doesn't have much experience, but guess what he has? He has a network. So stop with the, I don't have enough experience, this is the area I'm from. That's irrelevant in the new economy. 25 years ago, it really mattered how much experience you had, right? It mattered certain areas you were from. Now it's irrelevant. It's not about working harder or smarter, it's about working right. How many of you guys know people that work extremely hard, but they're still struggling? Raise your hand. Same with me. So when I was struggling in entrepreneurship, everyone around me said, Peter, work harder. I said, I'm working 50 hours a week. I can't work harder. And they said, yes, you can. I work 60 hours, same results. I work 70 hours, same results. I got up to 80 hours a week. I had no life. I was struggling. I was frustrated. But I kept working 80 hours. And then I realized, you know, it's not the hours I'm working. It's what I'm putting in those hours. I was able to fast forward 2 summers. I was able to do, we were doing $300,000 or $400,000 for the year back in 2007 and 8. I was able to do 1.3 million in just a summer in my business, working 30 hours a week, not 70 or 80, because I shifted my thinking of leveraging technology, building a team, and working right, not just hard. Washing machines work hard, right? The reality is you have to work right. There's 4,000 ways to get to an end result in business. But there's 1 or 2 optimal ways based on who you are, based on what your business does, based on what your awareness is. Success doesn't respond to want or need, it responds to deserve. I hear it all the time. Now I'm just kind of preference this so I can shift your mindset to where I really get into the tactics. You understand why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I hear it all the time. I need success. I want success. Here's where I'm from. My family's struggling. I need it. So what? Everybody needs success. It's not about needing it, it's who deserves it. Success responds to hustle and deserve, not just want and need. Because a lot of people who want and need don't take the necessary action steps, don't take full responsibility, and don't consistently hustle hard, so they can't expect to get that. The reason I do this is when people always ask, what's your story? And I think back to when I was growing up and when I got into entrepreneurship, I felt like everything was a failure.